Good morning, my diamonds, my TikTokers, my Teletubbies. SheilaTruelove here with you this morning. I gotta put on my rings. I didn't do my nails, as you see. I don't have my nails done. Oh well, it is what it is, darling. You know, before I share a video with you from my daughter, the Sovereign Woman, she was making a lot of sense with the things that she was saying in terms of why she's more comfortable being single, and she was in relationships, and she's going to share that with us in terms of why she decided that relationships are definitely not for her. Now, what I want to share with you right now is based on, you have a lot of people who they'll say, I've been married for 30 and 40 years, and they feel that that's a accomplishment and an achievement or a flex. Now, I want to share something with you from Joyce Myers. You know, I love her incredibly. And she's going to go into, you know, her father was raping her for years. I mean, years. And the mother knew about it. But let me explain to you why the mother really didn't do much about it. She goes into detail. Now, I want you to keep in mind that Joyce Myers' mother was married to her father for 60 years, over 60 years. Joyce says, my father was a very angry and bitter man. And if anyone ever made him really angry about anything, he was determined to never forgive. I learned that my father was violent towards my mother before they even got married. So it is reasonable to conclude he was angry and filled with rage at a very early age. She was 17 when they married, and she stayed with him until he died at the age of 83 years old. For many of their 60 plus years of marriage, at various times, this is what went down. Now keep in mind, she was married for 60 plus years. She said within that 60 plus years, at various times, he would hit her, he slapped her, and he threatened her with beatings if she gave him any trouble at all. She says, my mother lived in fear of my father, and she cowered under his domineering personality. If she had been more courageous, she would have left him when I was a little girl, and I originally told her about what he was doing to me. She could have prevented herself and my brother and me from being abused, but she was too scared herself. But she wasn't courageous, and she stayed with him. She told me that many years later that she simply did not think she could face the scandal and she didn't think that she could support herself, me, and my brother. So this is what I'm talking about when you hear people bragging about, oh, how many years they've been married, and this is our 25th anniversary, and blah, blah, blah. You know, you'll be surprised what goes on, truly goes on, behind closed doors. That's why I'm not impressed with that. I'm more impressed with people who have been married 2, 3, and 4 times. Better yet, it's even more impressive if you learned from the first time. But allow me to share this with you from my beautiful, I'm so proud of her. And just because a person is older than someone else, or more much refined or seasoned, whichever phrase you decide to use, as an older person or refined person, you can still learn from our younger ones. And this, the Sovereign Woman has always, I've always been impressed with her. And I have maybe 2 other young ladies who I'm just so impressed with them because of their age and because they have such a profound understanding about things at such an early age. And to be honest with you, I wish I were them. I got to keep it real. I wish I were. Let me share this with you.
Relationships don't last long for women who don't collect red flags. They only last for women who collect red flags and who settles for those red flags. What do I mean by that? If you are a woman that keeps forgiving men and turning the other cheek and giving second and third and 15 and 50, 11 chances, your relationship can last a lifetime. But if you are a woman who loves herself, knows her worth, and you don't collect red flags, none of your relationships are going to last. Just the nature of men, they're going to try you. They're going to test you in most cases. They're going to see what they can get away with. Most of them are going to lie, or they're going to be a cheater, or they're going to play mind games, or you're going to find out horrible, horrific things about them, whatever it is. And once you start seeing that stuff, if you are a woman of value and who loves yourself, you're not going to stick around. Now, this is a huge reason why I decided to be single. There's a lot of reasons, but this is at the top of the list because this was like the second or third time that I was in a relationship and I just wished I was single again. So if I were to get into another relationship, let's say tomorrow, I'm just going to wish I was single again in a few months. I'm going to be like, oh, why did I do this? Oh my God. Now I probably need to get out of this. Like, I already know that about myself. And the reason why I feel that way is because I don't collect red flags. The moment a guy plays in my face, lies to me, calls me out my name, or anything like that, we're done. And what it's going to look like to the outside people, some outside people, is, oh, she can't keep a man. When really, if you're the one dumping the men can't keep you. That's kind of how that works. If they don't know.
That was one of the things that she said that I found to be very profound. If you're the one dumping him, then it's not that I can't keep a man, because to be honest with you, it's easy to keep a man. All you have to do is be a floor mat. All you have to do is do the financial heavy lifting. You paying 70% of everything. He's paying barely 30%. All you have to do is do everything pretty much his way. Who can't keep a man? I mean, it's so easy to get a man. That's just easy. Easy. The hard part comes trying to get rid of them. That's the hard part. Let her continue to fill you in. I'm loving her. I'm so impressed with her. Very impressed.
How to straighten up and be a decent person, or maybe they don't want to, they can't, they don't know how, they don't feel like it. Whatever their reason is, it doesn't matter. They can't keep you.
Thank you.
We all know that most men will stay in unhappy relationships and marriages because most women are the ones who file. They will stay in relationships with women that they're not even attracted to, they don't like, they're not sexually attracted to, as long as they're getting their basic needs met. We know this already, right? It always takes for the woman to have had enough and to say, I'm done. It's usually the woman, right? She stopped collecting the red flags and she's had enough. Or she left at the first red flag, right? So for me, I'm like, I already know I'm going to want to be single again. And the reason why I start feeling that way typically is because guys start being jealous, possessive. They start, making little backhanded compliments, to try to chip away at your confidence. And so they see that you're confident and they'll try to chip away at that. Or they will start lying in the heat of an argument. They'll be like, you're acting like a bitch, and all that. Once you call me out my name, we're done. I don't care how long we were together.
She really don't put up with no crap. You call her a bitch, that's a wrap. She's a one and done type of girl. And I appreciate the point that she made is she don't sit around to collect red flags. You got one time only to treat her badly and she's out. Now, calling me a bitch, I look at it like being in total control, honey, or being in total control happily. So when you call me a bitch, hey, you're right, babe, I am. But I'd rather be in control than out of control. I don't want to control anyone except for myself. You can do whatever you want. As long as it don't affect me in a bad way, I say do you, sweetheart. That's one thing about me. I've never been a controlling type of person. Was I when I was younger, maybe? When I was a Jehovah's Witness, then I was really judgmental. I was hard on people. I really was. But now that that's no part of my life, thank you, Jesus, so much. Do you? People have the right to be happy. As long as what you do don't affect me in an adverse way, I really don't care. But I am a one and done type of person when it comes to cutting my throat, stabbing me in my back, betraying me. Baby. And I'm one and done anytime I see that you're no longer on Jesus Christ's team and now you're on Lucifer's team. Yeah, I'm done with that too.
relationship with somebody 3.5 years in, he, in a heat of an argument, called me a bitch. And it took the other half, almost 6 months, to get out of that relationship, because that's how long it took for me to find another house. Because if he would have called me a bitch on a Monday, and I went looking for houses on a Tuesday, and I found one, I would have had that house, and I would have been out by the end of the week. I'm just saying. But it took a few months for me to do that. And that was the very first engagement that I had accepted, like the ring, because I had been proposed to 4 times in all of my life, and I've only been like engaged, I would say, twice, where I actually wore the rings, and he was the first one. I didn't care about that. I was like, you call me out my name, I'm out. My mom always told me
I appreciate that part about her too, because I've been married 2.5, and when I say 0.5, I was with this man for 7-8 years. Gregory Elliott, the love of my life. But one, would you cheat on me? There's no coming back from that. And I remember my second husband, he was so cocksure that I couldn't get rid of him. And his biggest mistake was to challenge me. Don't challenge me, sweetheart. Don't tell me what I can't do. Because I can show you better than I can tell you. And did I have him removed? He's gone.
The moment a man calls you out of your name, you need to run, because it gets...
That's right. You're right, baby. Oh, and he didn't want to sign the divorce papers. So I made sure I had my brother, the hammer, serve him the divorce paper. Oh, he signed. He tried to give me a hard way to go. But I let the hammer serve him those papers.
And most women who've been abused and who have been in these situations, it gets worse. I got out before it got to that point. Good. I'm just saying. I'm telling what would have happened if I would have stayed. So I get out of these situations. And I don't care if people think I can't keep a man or whatever. It's like, who cares? The man can't keep me, number one.
Thank you.
And number two, since when is keeping a man a flex? Like, a man is the easiest thing to get and keep. Like I said, all you got to do is like be a doormat and let him play in your face. Getting rid of them has been my issue, because this same man that I'm speaking of has been stalking me for 10 years. It's been 10 years. Right? It's been almost 10 years. It's been like 9.5, almost 10 years. Still stalking me to this very day. He's had girlfriends. He's gotten several women pregnant, even though he don't even have any kids, because he's talked them into getting abortions and all that stuff, right? Because the only person he wanted to have kids with was me. He's been in all types of situations, online spats, airing out each other's personal business and all types of crap. And yet, I'm the one that got away. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that's a flex. I'm just saying that same guy...
that is a flex.
just hasn't been the same, I guess, since we broke up. Because sometimes men don't think that you're going to leave them, and when you do, right, you rock their world. I don't care anything about him anymore. I'm just using him as an example. And I'm just using him as an example because getting rid of men has been my challenge. Like, getting rid of them is the problem. But anyways, so yeah, I decided to just be single because...
I mean, if you've ever looked at viral crimes and twisted crimes, that what she's saying is true. She's 100% on point, because when you see these women trying to leave these men, what happens? A lot of times they're unalived, they're abused, beyond, some of them are abused beyond recognition. So, like she says, getting a man is just so easy. Any woman could get a man, honey, especially if you're willing to let him dog you out and willing to put up with whatever the hell he's doing. You look the other way, and the only thing you're concerned with is as long as he don't leave me. That's what a lot of women are doing this day and age. I was just looking at Karamo the other day, and there was a woman, well, Karamo, they say unlock your phones. So Karamo said, what's going to happen if you find out that he's been cheating? Are you going to leave? She said no. So Karamo was like, what? Why would you do that? She said, because I was in another relationship or other relationships, and I did leave them because they cheated, and they all end up cheating anyway. So I'm just going to stay with him. In other words, she's going to put her life and her health in jeopardy. He could go out there and cheat, do whatever the hell he wants, bring back STDs, whatever, and she's going to stay. So her main objective, or her main purpose, is as long as he don't leave me. Karamo's looking at her. He had to tell her, Karamo, I love him. I love him. He had to educate this woman. He really did.
It's easier. It's so much easier to just deal with men on your own terms, and then you don't have to do anything for them. I don't have to cook for you. I don't have to clean for you. I'm not rearing nobody's kids. I don't have to wash your dirty socks, your dirty drawers. I don't got to do nothing. You can come over, and I'm just saying theoretically because I'm not dealing with anybody, but you can come over and give me what I want and take the trash on your way out and see you next month or 6 months from now, whatever I decide, right?
Yeah, my thing is I don't mind having company over once a month. You come over on Friday evening after I get home from work. You get here by maybe 7, and you come over Friday, Saturday, Sunday after dinner. Well, first we have church, and we have a good time Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Movie watching, cooking together, playing games, going out to the spa, going to concerts, doing whatever the hell we do, activities, because I like activity buddies to do things with. And then that's it. And that's good enough because I have my own guest room. So, you stay in the guest room. And I like that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You don't want nobody getting squatters' rights. Never let nobody have mail coming to your house. Don't ever make that mistake. But I'm very much like her. She says, and then I'll see you next month or 6 months. I like the once a month thing. It works for me. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's good.
Men swear they can handle that, and then until they can't. And then once you blow them off for someone else, or once you don't answer the phone for weeks, because you don't really feel like hearing their voice, you don't really feel like being bothered, or once they know you're talking to somebody else or whatever it is, now Houston, we have a problem, right? That's typically how it goes. So I have to be very careful with that as well, because men say they can handle being used as a meat stick, and then they can't. They end up...
I never heard that terminology. Used as a meat stick. You're a meat stick. That's something else, man. Whatever, child.
Not being able to be used that way. So if I ever got into another relationship, I promise you that the man would have to be close to Jesus. Damn near Jesus, right? Who they said Jesus was. Otherwise, I'm not even going to bother, because what's the point, right? And you can, all men are not the same, and blah, blah. I don't care that they're not all the same. The only thing I care about is that most of them are. And it's all about risks and benefits. Is there more risks?
I like the point that she says they got to be close to Jesus. Yeah, and I was looking at Kendra G, and she said a lot of these women are looking for men who are Jesus Christ. No, you don't have to be Jesus, but you have to imitate Jesus. That's what we're instructed to do anyway. But I agree with her. You have to be damn near close to Jesus. And even then, honey, I don't want marriage, but I will let you be a part of my life. In order for a man to be a part of my life, you have to be an imitator of Christ and close to Jesus, like she said. Go ahead, girlie.
Dealing with men or benefits. For me, it's way more of a risk. So, that's it on that. But anyways, if you are a woman with standards and who love yourself, be aware that relationships typically won't last very long. And there's a lot of women who think that they love themselves, and they say they do, but they stay in situations where men are talking crazy to them, belittling them, yelling at them, cheating on them, having outside babies on them, putting their health at risk. And they're like, but I love myself. But it's like, do you really? I'm just saying. That's not the way it looks when a woman loves herself. The way it looks is that a woman is going to exit situations that put her well-being, health, and her financial health, her mental health, her spiritual, emotional health, all of that at risk. Like, you're just not going to stick around and let somebody play in your face. That is what it looks like to love yourself. So if you are saying you love yourself, but you're still in these situations, how much do you really love yourself? That's my next question, because it's not looking good for you, boo-boo. Anyways, leave your comments below. Let me know what y'all think.
I love you. That's what I think. I think you hit the nail right on the head. I love you, and I appreciate everything that she does. I love her, and I like the fact that she says, I don't care if they say all men are not the same, but she says, well, majority of them are. So simply because she said majority. So that means that she's giving some leeway here. You know what I mean? But I also agree with her. You damn near have to be Jesus Christ. Not Jesus, but you have to be like him, child. But anyway, I hope this served to help you to understand what it really means to love yourself, genuinely love yourself. You have men on social media who are also trying to educate women. And I love Karamo. Please check his show out. Oh, my God. And he be telling women, honey, listen. Dr. Phil also, he says, what do a man have to do to you? Dr. Phil be getting a little agitated because he's in total disbelief. Are you serious? Are you women aware that you have the power to put an end to all of this? And every time you put up with this type of behavior, bad behavior, and you reward it, you're messing up the quality of life for all women, not just yourself, but for all women. Anyway, it is what it is. And hopefully, not hopefully, but I see it happening. A lot of women all across the globe are waking up. So that's a plus. That's a good thing, right? I think it is. Anyway, my diamonds, my Teletubbies, and my TikTokers, there you have it. SheilaTruelove, always loving you. Twinkle, 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 darling.